And we're going to say welcome to the Advanced Getting Started Zoom for this Wednesday. So thank you guys for tuning in. We're going to go ahead and jump in here and share my screen. And I'm going to walk you all through our brand partner timeline. And you might be looking at this through the eyes of you, right? Where you are in this timeline, and maybe there's some gaps that we need to fill in. Or you might be looking at this for your brand partners. So you might be thinking, okay, this is what I need to be doing with the people that join my team. So I'll tell you, this is what I do with my personals as they get started on my team. It's what I would recommend, but you do whatever you want. That's the best part about this. This is our business, but this is what we recommend. So the minute that somebody gets started, the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to train them on boards. Um, it is the backbone of this system. It's what allows us to do this business with such ease, but it can be difficult to learn in the beginning. I explain it like it's like making or teaching a 7-year-old how to make pancakes. Um, Pancakes aren't hard. If you've never done it before, it's not a difficult task. But if you have to teach a 7-year-old how to make pancakes, you've got to explain flour and how to measure and where things are in the pantry and what pan. And man, it can be a little overwhelming. Boards are kind of like that. Once you've done it once or twice, it's easy peasy. But if we expect somebody to go figure it out on their own, it can be very frustrating. So I make sure that I am with my brand partners. I help them get started with boards. They feel comfortable. And then the second hard thing I'm going to do with them is to make that first post. Because I think about the day my first post was July 5th of 2023. That was when I made my first drop post. I had been in the industry for some time. I make a lot of money here. I sweat everywhere. I was so scared. So I think about somebody that first day and they're just doing it for the first time. That can be really scary. So I'm going to do that with them. And then I'm also going to help them schedule the first week. Now, why do I want to do that? Well, because they'll be making money before they feel the pain again, because they are going to move boxes if they're posting twice a day and working with engagement. Okay. So that's my goal with my new brand partners. And then I'm going to invite them to Partner Conation. I'm going to get them on Telegram and I'm going to share the IPA Zoom with them because I think those things are critical. Now, next, once they start moving boxes, I'm going to show them what we do with our customers, that customer flow, where, the getting started script and what to do week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, so that 3 weeks down the line, they're not having to follow up with 40 people all at once because they weren't doing it weekly. Okay, so we're going to do that once they start moving boxes. I'm probably not going to worry about it before that, but once they start moving boxes, I'm going to start training them on that. And then as soon as they've achieved Golden Ultimate, I'm going to make sure, hopefully they subscribed when they enrolled. But if they didn't, I'm going to make sure that I'm confirming their subscription because I don't want them to miss a single paycheck. I'm going to make sure that they're enrolled in direct deposit. And then I'm going to show them how to leverage their next order into their downline to maximize their pay because I want them to get that new volume bonus on that fourth 10 pack or their next 30 pack or whatever it may be so that they maximize their pay. And then as soon as they're starting a team, I'm going to show them where to look, how to check orders, how to look at volume, and how to figure out what their team is doing. Because sometimes we feel like we might be running a little blind as people are getting started. So this is kind of my goal for as I'm getting people started. So um, one of the first ways that I do that is I share this little file right here. Now, like I said, this is my board. Yours might look different, but every board has some version of this that it's going to have videos on how to use boards. It's going to have videos on how to post and all of the different things. It's going to have links for our team board and for Telegram and for Partner Conation. So it's going to have all of that built in this right here. So what I do when I start somebody is I text this to them so that they have all the links. Everything that I showed on that tool belt in the basic getting started is all built in, embedded in this link. Okay. So if you don't have it, if you haven't seen it, we can put it in the chat in just a minute. And if you're on a different board, you've got something very, very similar. So I'm going to do that first. Thanks. It's going to help me with that installation process. And then the next thing I need to show them is how to set up their subscription. And sometimes people get a little confused or like, I don't know what week I'm in, all of that. Just know it's fairly simple. Again, once you've done it once or twice. So when you log in, you're going to scroll down in your back office and you will see your qualifying cycles. Okay. And with it, you're going to have a colored week. So just, you might need to jot it down, take a screenshot, whatever it is. But I know whoever's person this is, they are purple. Okay. So purple is their week. So that when I go to subscribe, when I click on that and I add a new subscription, I'm going to make sure that it shows a matching purple for that week. And I'm keep going here. So you'll see, you'll go shop, you'll add whatever product that you want. I personally say, Renew and a superfood is what I recommend to everyone, because that's going to support them on their drop journey. And if they're selling drops in bulk, if they're buying them in bulk, they can get them cheaper outside of their subscription. I don't want them to get one box and pay full price or the 123. I'd rather get them in, a 4-pack or a 12-pack or whatever. And then I'm going to support their journey with a couple of our other products. So maybe, Advantage and Sugar Stop and Renew, whatever it appeals to you. But I'm going to grab that. I'm going to shop and I'm going to continue to check out. And it's going to look like it's charging me right now, but it's not going to charge. We don't have to worry. It's going to charge me on my purple date. So I'm going to pick the color of my week as soon as today is possible. So I could go out here. I could literally go to 26 and find a purple, but then I would not be qualified until the date that I pick it for. So I want to make sure that I choose the first purple circle to today. Now, I've mentioned that I'm middle-aged, so on a phone, I can't see this. I really can't. So I do this on a computer because it's too small for me to try to see it on my phone. So I do recommend iPad or a phone so you can see the calendar but a little bit easier. But I'm going to pick the first purple and then I'm going to set it up, put my credit card, and it will be good to go. Okay. Now, the next thing that I need to do is to make sure that direct deposit is set up. And this is banking. So just know that you're going to have to submit and confirm and submit and confirm and approve and all the things because they want to make sure that it's getting into your bank account. So we're going to go to the drop down menu again in your back office. There's 3 little lines up here. You'll go down to My Money and you're going to go to Partner Copay. Okay. In there, you'll see the option for our direct deposit. Again, Partner Copay. I'm going to click this plus sign and it's going to open up a direct deposit field. This is going to default as 0. And if I leave my 0% direct deposit, it's going to give me 0% of my check. I want all of my check. So I'm going to change it to 100%. I'm going to put in my bank information and it will say submit. And at the bottom of that same screen, I'm going to confirm that it says 100% and then I'm going to click save. So it is like a 3-part process to get your direct deposit set up. That's good. That's your banking information. So we want to make sure it's all right. So just go through that, take a moment, and then I just make sure that for my new brand partners that I make sure that they're set up for that as well, because I don't want them to miss a single paycheck. Now, after that, the next question that I'll get from people is, well, how do I know where to place my next brand partner? How do I know what to do with that next person in my business? Okay. So how you would find that out is again, your back office, you're going to go to My Money and to Volume, and that's going to pull up a report that's going to look something like this. Now, if you're brand new, you're not going to have the green L yet. Just know that that's coming. If you're brand new, you won't see it. And you might only have one line. If you only have one line, well, that's easy peasy. We got to start that second line. We need at least 2. Okay. But in this instance, this is another one that the easiest way is I know if it's red, I don't want to place my next person there. Red means stop. Okay. I'm not going to place my next person there. Now I'm going to love on all those brand partners. I'm going to do drop talks with them. I'm going to train them. I'm going to support them. I'm going to do all the same things that I'm going to do with this other line. But my newest person is going to go in the opposite line because my goal is to keep growing both of these lines until, or at least they're optimized at that 13,334 and I maximize my pay there. Okay. So that's my goal. So this one we can see my line one is significantly smaller in this example. So the next person I enroll, I'm going to place in my line one. Okay. Now I can also see some great information in here. These are links. So if I click on it, it's going to show me all of the orders that add up to that volume. And I can learn some really great things in here from that information. And so I personally look at this at least once a week where I just check out, I get a little nosy with my team. And this is more important as your team is growing. In the beginning, you're going to have, you'll know exactly what your people are doing because you're going to be connected with them really closely. But as it grows and it gets away from you, you won't know exactly. So you can go in here and you can see, okay, what is my team doing? The easiest way is just to look at the math. I'm looking for 1500 PV, 500 PV, and 208. Why? Well, that means they're getting 30 packs, 10 packs, and 4 packs. And that means that they're following the system of growth. If I'm seeing kind of, I call them wonky numbers, numbers that the math don't work, then I know that they've gotten maybe a little bit distracted. So a good example of that, if you look at Aretha, hers is 576. I can click on that again, and she actually got a 10 pack and a 1 box of drops. That's great. She sold 11 boxes, except she spent about $50 more on that 11th box. So I might reach out to her and say, congratulations, you're doing great. I noticed, right? It's all in love. I noticed you spent a little extra on that 11th box. So next time, maybe hold on to that second order until you get at least 4, or well, really 3, so you can pay for a 4 pack and you'll save, at least $30 on that, right? So I want to just make sure I'm paying attention. And then if I see all kinds of wonky products, right, that they're not necessarily ordering for their own use, but maybe they're getting 2 boxes of Renew and some Noni and some blah, 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 blah. Well, then I know that most likely they're posting and sharing about more than one product and they're going to confuse their customers. So I'm going to try to lovingly, it's voluntary, so they don't have to listen to me, but I'm going to try to rein them in and say, there's a reason we only post about the drops. We want to really stay focused in what we're sharing so people know what they're coming to us for. Don't worry, we're going to sell all those products on the back end, but lead with this one. Otherwise, you're going to kind of dilute your market. Okay. So we'll just have those conversations as needed. So obviously that's in the future. Don't worry too much about it today, but that's just what we look for in that volume report. The next thing I'm going to look at in my back office to help my team succeed is I'm going to look at this striking distance report. And they actually just changed it last night. So I don't have all of the information in here, but it is a beautiful, beautiful report in that it gives us a ton of information and it allows us, one of the main things that I look at in here is what week they are on achieving Golden Ultimate. We all know we've got 4 Fridays to get to Golden Ultimate, to get to that 1500 PV. And that allows us to maximize our pay for the life of our business. So what I do is I sort by current week and I focus on week 3. Now, if you've never done this before and you've got people in here, go back to week 4, make sure that we get those because we don't want them to miss out. But just know if we don't look at it until week 4, they only have like 2 days, right? If I was to look at it today, I look at this every Wednesday. If I was to look at week 4 today, I would only have the rest of today, Thursday and Friday, close of business to get them to ultimate or the next business level. If I look at week 3, I have about 10 days to get them there. So I can get anybody there in 10 days, right? So I personally focus on week 3. Make sure you grab week 4 if you haven't yet, but I focus on week 3, and this is what I'm looking at. I want to see what their current PV is and what level they've achieved. And I'm going to write this all down. So Madonna, she's a rock star. She got 1500 PV. She's already there. Tina, she needs 192. So I'm going to write down Madonna in the ultimate column. Tina's going to be under elite, and she's going to have a little 192 underneath her. Whitney's going to have a 424. Olivia's ultimate, Stevie's ultimate. She went beyond ultimate, right? And we're going to have some conversation because she could have earned a little extra on that other 500. Dolly needs 500. Cindy needs 500. I'm going to write all this down, and then I'm going to go work the phone. Why? Well, one, I want the best for them. I want them gold and ultimate. I want them to maximize their pay, that new volume bonus at 30% instead of 15 or 20 or 25 at the other business levels. But then the other side is I am a selfish little monkey, and every bit of volume that they add is going to flow through me as well. So this is a way that by supporting our team and helping them get what they want, we get what we want too, right? And that is to grow our volume, grow our paychecks, grow our business. So it's a win-win across the board. And so I start working the phones, and I make kind of 3 sets of calls. One, anyone that's on week 3 and they're not ultimate yet, I'm going to call them and say, oh my gosh, Tina, did you see you're only 192 from Golden Ultimate? Do you know what that means? And she says, no. And I'm like, oh, sugar. If you achieve that, when you achieve that, that's right now you're at elite. So every time somebody joins you, you're going to make 25%. But if you make it to ultimate, just that 4-pack of drops more, then you will earn 30% for life from that point forward every time somebody joins your team in those first 4 Fridays. So we want to get you there. So can I help you with you want to do a Facebook Live together? Do we want to have a drop talk? Like, what can I do to support you to help you reach that goal? Okay. Next calls I'm going to make are people that are already ultimate. And I'm going to call and I'm going to celebrate with them. Congratulations, you achieved ultimate. Maybe they don't even know what it means. I'm going to tell them. And then I'm going to ask them, hey, let's connect. Would you like to do a drop talk? Where are you located? Right? I'm going to see how I can support them in their business to help them take their business to the next level. And then the third set is anybody that's ordering drops under somebody else. And how do I know? How do I know if you are placing orders? Well, let me scroll back up here, and I didn't show you this. But if I look, where is it? Right here. When I look at their name, and I look at their email address, if it doesn't make sense, then I know that most likely this person is placing an order under this person. So I always glance at those emails because Whitney's probably Whitney, Aretha's probably Aretha, but Josh is probably a completely different brand partner leveraging orders under Kate. So I'm going to go hunt down Josh and make sure I'm calling to celebrate you reached Golden Ultimate. You're doing so well that you're placing orders under other people. How can I support you? Would you like a drop talk? Can we do a Facebook Live together? Would you like a Super Saturday if their team is growing to that extent? But I'm going to make sure that that person is being supported in their journey. Now, the last thing that we're going to talk about right here is a drop talk. And I know this has been long and we're throwing a ton of information at you. So just again, think about those pancakes. It gets easier as we go. But a drop talk or a customer appreciation event, hormones and health, I don't care what you call it, but this is a way that we bring people together, show them that it's bigger than just us. It can be online, it can be in person, but there's some key things that we want to do to make sure they're successful. One is we want to make it short and sweet. I do not want to come on there and take an hour to tell you about all the benefits of these products. I'm going to bore you to death. And then you're going to think, oh man, I've got to be an expert to do this, right? I also don't want to take an hour and tell you about the business because again, you're like, I don't have time for this. I don't know all of that. And then I have to be an expert. So the way that I explain them is in babysitter hours. So I'm showing my momness right here. But every single event, I want to take place in one babysitter hour. What does that mean? I only want you have to pay for 1 hour with your sitter. So you've got to be able to drive to my house, see the event, and drive home all within 60 minutes. So my presentation can't be longer than 15, really, to make that happen. So people might stay around and chit chat and all of that, but I want to make this as duplicatable as possible. So, am I going to have a big spread of food? No, because Jane might be Susie Homemaker and love to be the hostess with the mostest and do these huge elaborate parties, but I don't. So if I go there and she's got this beautiful spread, I'm impressed and I appreciate it. But then I go home and say, oh, I can't do what she did, right? So if you come, there might be a little bowl of nuts out so that you don't starve, right? Or some little bottles of water because I want you to be comfortable, but that's it, right? It's going to be very simple, very duplicatable, and we're going to be short and sweet. And then the second thing I'm going to do is I'm going to try to bring a buddy with me. So it doesn't have to be a top leader like these pictures. I've got Brent and, all these other people. That doesn't matter. It's you and a buddy. So if you don't have a local buddy, get somebody on the phone or via Zoom to join you if you're doing them in person or do them online. But have that third party credibility, even if they've been doing it the same amount of time as you, it creates that, oh, well, they're the expert and I can lean on them too, which allows you to grow even faster. So that's really a drop talk. That's our advanced getting started training. So I'm going to stop right there.